So out of every single company that has pretty much talked about the iPhone 14, including myself, I think Samsung is probably one of the main people who are loving the next iPhones, which are the iPhone 14s. Now, this is kind of interesting because Samsung and iPhones have always been competitors, Samsung and Apple, but some of you may not know this, Samsung actually develops a lot of the panels for iPhones. And one thing that I noticed is that with the iPhone 14 Pro, they actually named that notch thing the Dynamic Island Display. Out of all the names they could have called it, they called it Dynamic Island. For me personally, that sounds very similar to Dynamic AMOLED, which is basically the screens that Samsung has kind of coined of the screens that they use. So that was a very interesting thing that they kind of threw in there. But Samsung has been taking out so many ads and has been hating on the iPhone 14 like crazy. They've done so many advertisements hating on not only the camera and the notch, but they've also been hitting on things like reverse wireless charging and the fact that Samsung sells folding and flip phones as well. Now, these are crazy ads. I mean, I've seen Samsung do these things before. When the iPhone 10 came out with the notch, there was like that hairline notch thing that they did too. But this is something that's very interesting because personally, I don't know if this is for a fact, but I believe Samsung still is making some of the panels for the iPhone 14 series. Maybe not for the 14 and 14 Plus, but maybe for the Pro and Pro Max. So if this ends up being true, it's going to be very interesting to see how this interacts and interferes with Samsung making the displays for Apple. Because if they did make the panels, they would have some sort of like, not insider knowledge, but they would have to know ahead of time what the displays were going to look like. So that's going to be very interesting that they're taking advertisements against their own products in a way. But Samsung makes some of the best displays of all time, so, I totally think it's alright. But this is what happens when Samsung ends up just innovating so much more, ahead of the, field and then their counterparts. Samsung has, I think in my opinion, been kind of at the forefront here and there, but they've been very lacking in software. And this is where the one area where Samsung is starting to kind of improve at. They're starting to go and improve their software longevity, and they're starting to update their phones. Even like a Galaxy S10 that got an extra year or two of software updates, that was actually a really big deal. And I've seen Apple hate and just run so many advertisements against a ton of different companies about security and different things like that. So I think it's just kind of like they're just kind of jabbing at each other. But it is very interesting how Samsung seems to be the main company that can hit on other companies based on their hardware, because Samsung's hardware is very good. Phones feel very premium, everything like that. But I very rarely hear Samsung actually hating on the software. It seems like with the iPhones, it's more so software and security and different things like that. Maybe camera features as well here and there. But it seems like, in my opinion, out of all the companies that are loving the iPhone 14s, Samsung is having a lot of fun going on Twitter and making a lot of tweets and advertisements against the iPhones in general. So that kind of covers it. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.